The power of art, a beautiful scene, a common language, a leader in movements. One person's craft makes a significant contribution to protect and preserve our national parks for the enjoyment, education, and inspiration of current and future generations. Join me as we explore the battle for the 2026 Park Pass. I'm your host, Missy Rentz, and this is the Parks Podcast. I am so excited to welcome today's guest. Jenny McCarty is joining me. Jenny is the artist behind Sage Leaf Studio. Jenny, welcome to the Parks Podcast.
Thank you so much, Missy. I'm so glad to be here.
I am thrilled to meet you. You are a new celebrity to me because
I'm glad you said to me. All of a sudden I got overwhelmed that you said celebrity. I was like, oh gosh, I don't know how I feel about that title.
So Jenny is the artist behind the viral sticker that was created to go over the 2026 National Park Pass. And you came up with this idea. It took off. I've seen you in media all over, and your art is incredible. You've created this solution and given people hope for their national park adventures in 2026. How did this come about?
Oh, that's a great question. And I have to say, it didn't happen in a vacuum. It's not just my idea. It was listening very closely to my community who have very similar values to me and responding to a need, a desire in that community. So I think, like many people, when the new 2026 pass design was released, I was disappointed, fired up, upset. You can come up with all sorts of emotion words. Yeah. And just make a long list. And I made a joke on my socials with a little round pica sticker that I include as a little extra thank you in some orders. I was like, good thing I've got this adorable pica to put on the front of my pass. And people loved the idea. I got so many comments, so many DMs saying, how do I get one? Can you please make real stickers? And so I got thinking about it, that actually I could do that and it would actually be pretty straightforward. And so I had 3 national park paintings that I'd already created: Rocky Mountain National Park, Grand Tetons, and Denali. And I asked my community, okay, which design would you prefer? And they said all of them. So got to give the people what they want. And in hindsight, maybe that wasn't the easiest decision to make now that we're fulfilling thousands of stickers, but we released all 3 for the resident design. And for those who don't know, the National Park Pass this year clearly demarcates whether someone's a U.S. resident or a non-resident. And so we just came out with the resident pass because it had, for those who don't know, portraits of George Washington and the current president on the front of the pass. So released all 3 designs for the resident pass. And then we had military and seniors who are reaching out and said, we want one too. So then we released all 3 designs for military and seniors. And now we're running with 9 different sticker designs.
And I just want to go back and talk about historically, and I think it's by law, how are the designs for the park passes usually decided?
It is written into the rules of the Parks Pass that the design is selected by public vote on a photo competition. So photographers submit their photos of the national park selected for that year. In 2026, it was supposed to be Glacier National Park, and the winning design gets to be on the front of the Parks Pass. So not only was the 2026 design released for residents going against those rules, and there's actually a case right now being brought by the Center for Biological Diversity against the Department of the Interior for breaking these rules. Not only was it going against those rules, but it also was, in my opinion, a slight to art and artists. And for the people that submit photos every year who find it a fun competition or even a part of their livelihood, it was quite a slight to the arts community.
Yeah, that is such a good point. Yeah, and I think it's become, if you're a park goer, for me at least, I think a lot of people, like, it's become a collector's item. I
Yes.
love getting it every year, and I use it as Christmas ornaments at
Oh,
the
that's
end
a
of the
great
year.
idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and so it's like, I want the art. I want the
yeah.
beautiful imagery, and sometimes I've been to that park, and sometimes it makes it higher on my bucket list when I see it there.
Agreed. I think that it's an educational tool, what you might be able to see at that park. I agree that it's a collector's item. Like we still have ours, but they all live in a pile in our car. I like your idea of turning them into Christmas tree ornaments. So much better. We'll have to steal that from you if that's okay.
Sure, you can have
Well,
it.
awesome. Thank you.
Okay, so so they came out with this, was it, I think it was like late November. So they came out with this and announced it, and you immediately, because it was a huge uproar. Not only that, okay, so they announced that, and they announced that they were removing Martin Luther King and Juneteenth as free park days,
Correct.
and instead putting Flag Day and our current president's birthday as a free day. So there was an uproar, huge uproar in the park community. So you presented this sticker solution to go on the face, to stick on the face of the card. But then shortly after that, the administration started to come up with these new rules and said, your park pass isn't going to be valid if you have a sticker.
Yes, that's correct.
So then you had to pivot.
We actually anticipated that they might say
You
that.
did.
So, yeah, on the Parks Pass, if you actually look in small lettering, it says something like any alteration of this pass might void the pass. And we knew that previous guidance, it more had to do with the back of the pass where the signature and the expiration date are. Those are the important details. Historically, rangers have actually enjoyed seeing stickers on the front. People collect stickers from the different parks that they visit all year long, or just making it a little personalized. So stickers historically had never been a problem. Knowing this administration, we knew that might change. So we encouraged people from the get-go that there were a few different ways that you could choose to adhere a sticker to the front of your pass, either directly on the pass or the sticker company that we worked with, they perforate the back in a way that you could lift up the sticker to show the diamond underneath that says whether you're a resident or non-resident. So still proving that it's a valid pass underneath and your citizenship status. And then the third option was mounting the sticker on a clear sleeve and putting your pass in the sleeve so you could easily pull it out to show that it hasn't been altered in any way. Since then, we have heard from our community that they would like just a direct mounted option that they could just buy so they don't have to buy the sleeve and buy the sticker separately, that they can just get it all in one package. And while I love the idea, I am an artist and I have a full-time job also happening in the background. And so I don't have the time to just mount stickers to clear card sleeves. You're actually the first to hear that we're actually working on a potential collaboration with another artist who's already mounting art to sleeves,
Amazing.
and she might be taking on that option. So it's not official yet, but we might be releasing already marked sleeves for people to get. Yeah, you heard it
That's
first
amazing
here.
news. Yay,
Yeah,
congratulations.
thank
And
you.
where can we get a sticker?
You can get a sticker on my website, www.thesageleafstudio.com. I'm also on socials. It's easy to find links there as well, at sage_leaf_studio or Jenny McCarty art.
I will, and I'll post links in the episode page on the website, as well as tag you in all of our social posts so that people can find you when they listen.
That would be great. Thank you so much.
Jenny, what other challenges might people have when they go to a park and they do have the sticker and these rules are or aren't in place? We don't know.
Yeah, that's a really good question. And right now, our guidance, and it goes out with every sticker order, is to make sure you understand the rules and regulations that the park rangers are dealing with. And it might mean that you should be mounting it on a clear card sleeve so that it doesn't alter your pass in any way, but just know the risks before you mount a sticker directly to your parks pass. Some rangers have received guidance that it'll invalidate the pass, but the guidance is also that it is up to the ranger's discretion how they want to handle any kind of alterations to passes. So just keep in mind that they can choose to void your pass and charge you for a day pass, or they might let you through. So before mounting anything to the front of your pass, ask the first ranger you talk to and make a decision from there. That's what we recommend. And the most important part too, I think, to remind people is that the park ranger in the booth is your friend. They don't like these changes to rules and regulations more than you do. And so please just be kind to them, be respectful, recognize that they are also dealing with the non-resident changes now too. So they're dealing with also a lot of tourists coming in that are non-English speaking and having to deal with all these fee changes and calculating who's in a car. So they're probably having a more frustrating day than
Yeah.
you, even if you've sat in the car for hours trying to get into the park. So just be kind, be respectful. Please just be kind to your park rangers.
Yeah, we need to show them a lot of love as we're going through there because they're going through the ringer.
Yes, and they're here for us.
They
Park
are.
rangers don't get into this job to be rich.
No, definitely not.
No.
Definitely not. Okay, so I also want to chat a little bit about the process because I think for a lot of people, learning about the park passes and how the art gets on them, this is a real kind of slap in the face to the arts community who likes to go take these amazing photos and enter these contests to be on the park pass.
You're right. I'm actually interested in talking with any photographers out there who entered the 2026 competition or who may be thinking about entering a future competition. I'm really interested in understanding their perspective, their opinion, and those artists who were directly impacted this year by this. So if anybody is interested in having a chat, please don't hesitate to reach out to me over email or DM and Instagram. I'd love to talk with you.
Yeah. I have so many questions that are coming up for me. Okay, but first I want to say, and this is a fundraiser. Not only are you an artist and this fulfillment has become fantastically labor intensive, but you are donating 100% of the proceeds to
Excellent.
national park nonprofits. And there's not money in it for the manpower.
Right.
But
Yeah.
what organizations are you all supporting?
We're really excited and proud about the donation we've been able to make so far. So just in the month of December, like you said, we donate 100% of proceeds for our stickers. And we donated $16,000 at the end of December to the National Park Conservation Association, which is awesome. They are the nonprofit that's preferred by most park rangers that we talk to. They do great work. So we are listening to our community about where they want to see those dollars dedicated.
Amazing.
And then in the month of January, we're on track to do not quite as much, but a very big contribution. And it'll likely go to the Center of Biological Diversity, who's leading the charge against the Department of the Interior for the 2026 design.
Fantastic. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so exciting. And I think people love to know that not only are they protesting by putting a sticker on, but they're protesting by donating to these organizations who are doing a lot of work on our behalf to fight for our public lands.
Definitely. I think honestly, that was one of the most important things that helped our stickers go viral in the first place is people realized that and they felt in their heart that this was more of a movement and a resistance and something that they could do in peaceful protest rather than supporting some revenue generating machine or
Yeah.
profiting person. And I understand we're a small business. I'm an artist. People love supporting artists. But I do think that at the end of the day, it is surprising to people that someone would donate 100% of proceeds
Mhm.
for something they've created. And at the end of the day, for me personally and for my family, it is so much more important to us to support national parks and something that is so deeply ingrained in our family history than to keep anything for
Yeah.
ourselves. It didn't feel right even. I
Yeah.
don't know how else to explain it.
Yeah.
The whole point was to support our national parks and giving 100% felt right. On top of that, I also don't want to diminish the volunteer hours that have been contributed. We have had 4 packing parties where we have anywhere from 6 to 8 people dedicating 2 to 4 hours of their Sundays here for the last 4 weekends. And it's gotta be in the hundreds of hours at this point that volunteers, some of which we don't know before they come, they're just strangers that reach out and say, "Hey, I wanna help." And these volunteers come and it creates such a sense of community. And I think people who come in feeling dismay find hope, like they're touching envelopes that are going all over the country to people that value and love the same things that they do. And we've watched these people leave with so much joy and hope, especially because they're connecting with other people at our kitchen table that love the same things.
Love that.
Yeah, it's so fun. And it's been great meeting people. And then now they have felt empowered to go join other movements that maybe that they were uncomfortable about joining before. One of the sentiments that we've heard over and over again from people is they felt nervous to protest out in
Mm.
person. They're not necessarily comfortable with big groups or loud noises or those kinds of things. And this felt like a comfortable, peaceful way to protest. And so after they've had this introductory experience, they feel empowered to go find
Yeah.
somewhere else to spend more time.
That's beautiful. This podcast is really geared towards teaching people why our parks are here and how to use them. And I
Yeah.
think in this time, we collectively, not just the podcast, have to teach people how to protest because for many decades, we have not had to do this. And
Yes.
now it does take a collective effort. And just in the past couple of weeks, I've had several people say, I feel like I'm not doing anything. And I think it's time for me to do something.
Yes.
And you have demonstrated n- through your art for sure. And then now through this story that one person can make a big difference in
Yeah.
a movement.
Hugely so. And I hope if anybody takes anything away from my message on this podcast, in news articles, anywhere else, it's you every person has skills and gifts and talents that even if they're dedicating a little bit of that energy and their time towards good right now, I think it collectively will go a very long way. So I challenge people to use their skills, their gifts, their talents, and figure out how they can leverage those for good and joy and love right now.
Yeah, I love that. So I love reading about your background. I feel like I know so much more about you.
Yeah, thank you.
You are a biologist.
Yes.
Yes, and a
Yes.
stream ecologist. Do I have
Yes.
that right? Okay.
Yep. Yep.
And so those are not certainly those are things that connect to parks, but you don't necessarily think about art and artists being biologists. Can you share a little bit about your journey and your passions and how they all collided into parks, nature, arts?
Definitely. I honestly think most scientists have some sort of artistic element to
Okay.
them. Most scientists I meet, they make music on the side or they have a artistic like visual artistic outlet or they're writers. I think that science and the creative mind actually fit very well together. But like most people, in that realm, when I was a kid, I loved the arts. And in many ways, I was educated away from the arts. I also loved science. I'm very lucky that I had phenomenal science teachers and art teachers that supported my passions both ways. But I was told that art was not a good way to make a living. And I was just as passionate about science. So I went that direction professionally. And in many ways, I'm glad that I did because having such intensive science background with a master's in stream ecology, it helped to inform how I make art now. So in my 30s, like a lot of people, I had developed a career and I looked around and was like, wait, what do I do for fun again? And so I picked up a paintbrush again. I definitely felt like I came back to art in my 30s and was able to draw on my science background to paint the things that I want to paint and also paint places that I have had experiences in. Denali, for instance, I was doing field work up there for my career And I got to backpack through Denali several times, and that's where the background picture from that painting came from, was a trip with my dad and my brother when they came up to visit me. But similarly, my ecology background, the materials I choose are eco-friendly because I really care about my impact and my footprint on the planet. And in my paintings, for those who want to go look at them, there are lots of hidden elements in them. And the goal there is to remind people that it's not just one animal in the foreground. Animals are connected to entire ecosystems and other species that all interact with each other in the background too.
Mm. I'm gonna have to go look because I've spent
Mhm.
some time exploring them and trying to put myself in those moments because for me, nature is that reconnection with life. And I think your paintings put me back into my childhood love of
Mm.
being in nature, which is really special. And that's a gift that you give to us through your art to be able to do that. So thank you for that.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. That's the goal, is to remind people of the joy and the wonder found out there.
Yeah. And I think that something that you said really sparked an interest of you were trained out of art. Was that the way you phrased
Yeah,
it?
educated out of art.
Educated out of art. And I was just having a conversation with a ranger just the other day about how in our school systems, we're removing art and music and play and nature. And yet in our parks, when you're out in a park, you gain independence and you gain creativity and you gain
Mm.
wonder and you gain all these things that we're losing in our education systems. And in so many
Right.
ways, being able to connect and draw things with berries it's just really amazing beyond the great hiking trails or the great kayaking and camping experiences what our parks are giving to us.
Yes, I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good way to remind people that there's more than just a computer screen and all the
Yeah.
things that they're teaching us how to do on computer screens.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so I want to go back to art.
Okay.
Art and movements specifically on what I think it's a powerful art can be a powerful statement in a movement.
Yeah.
And one of the things the parks have a movement of promoting the parks through this photography, but the censorship that's happening is impactful to the art community and the artists that are I would guess the original artist was chosen for this, and who knows what happens in the future. But to you, how does art play a role in movements?
Ooh, that is a good question. I think art is incredibly important in movements. Artists see the world in different ways, how it is, how it could be. Art communities also often are mixing pots of lots of different ideas, backgrounds, people from very different walks of life
Mm,
with unique views that don't necessarily trend with the normal. So it's pushing cultural boundaries and opening up views on what could be, but also highlighting cultural weaknesses too and injustices that are happening. And at the end of the day, depending on what art you're working with, it impacts people in different ways. My medium is visual, and there are a lot of visual people out there. And so being able to see something causes a feeling in them. For some people, auditory is so important. So creating music, thinking about artists that were really big in the 60s and 70s and helped push movements that were happening then with their lyrics. For it, it ingrains in the entire culture of a country a desire for change.
mm,
Writing is incredibly important. I am so grateful for all the reporters that have given me their time and reached out about this story, for instance, and used their beautiful writing skills to continue to spread the word and educate people. That's an art in itself, too. I think there's so many people with different creative outlets, dance, acting, all plays into opening our minds to what could be.
mm. I love that. That's really beautiful.
Thank you.
What is next for Sage Leaf Studio and for you, Jenny?
Ooh, I am 100% transparency, looking forward to handing off sticker fulfillment to someone else. We are partnering with a retired park ranger in California who does sticker fulfillment now. And so he's going to take that on so we can get our weekends back and I can get back to painting. My next painting is going to be of Yosemite National Park. So I'm really excited to work on that one. I have a lot of people that have reached out asking for a painting of Yosemite.
I love it. That's one of my favorites, so I
Oh, is
can't
it?
wait for that one. But you know what? Every episode I do, I go, "Oh, that's my favorite."
Do you have a favorite national park?
My favorite big one is Yosemite, and I went to
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yosemite when it like before it got busy. I'm not good with big crowds. And so
Mm.
it was just this spiritual, very quiet, not a lot of people
Oh, you were
moment,
lucky
and
that there weren't a lot of people there.
oh,
That's
it
not
was
everybody's experience.
unbelievable. Oh my gosh, it was unbelievable. And
That's awesome.
so that Yosemite and just Yosemite and its history. And I went when I was like, had gotten so into the parks. And so I just felt like this connection to the earth, which was really beautiful. And I love the little ones. I love them. And I think that was a spark to why I wanted to share the stories of the parks because I think people think of Yellowstone and Yosemite and the Grand Canyon when they think of the parks, but there are 430 plus.
Hmm.
And I love organ pipe cactus right on the border of Arizona and Mexico. I love Francis Perkins in Maine.
I
So
have
there's
never even heard of that one.
oh my gosh, there's some of
I'll
the
have to add it to the
coolest,
list.
wonderful monuments and battlefields. And I do love a battlefield. I live in Virginia, so I'm surrounded by
Mhm.
battlefields. And there's something about hiking through a battlefield and you learn about the history and then you see the terrain and you think about these young, very young men using just a small hill to protect them. I don't know. It's just,
It is wild to go back in time. My
it
husband's
is.
also from Virginia, and
Okay.
I visited Jamestown for the first time just a few years ago, and it was mind-blowing to think about
Yeah.
the conditions of the planet and how people lived back then. It was
Yes.
really interesting.
Yeah, so I have a
Mhm.
lot of little ones based off of that, but I think that I'm going to call them little parks. I do think that maybe there are groups that call them little parks, but those are the most surprising to me because they
Mhm.
don't get the attention. And
Really
they
there.
are gems. Oh, they are
Very
such
cool.
gems. They're beautiful. Do you have a favorite?
Favorite national park? I don't honestly. I'm very lucky to have been to many parks west of the Rocky Mountains, and they all have special places in my heart for different reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be hard to choose. Yosemite was my grandparents' favorite park, and I
Mhm.
have very fond memories there. Rocky Mountain is the closest park to me now, which is an awesome park. I did my grad research on the Gallatin right outside of Yosemite or Yellowstone National Park. And family lore is that I was named after Jenny Lake and Grand Teton. So we've been to lots of national parks and I love them all for different
Yeah.
reasons.
I
Yeah.
guess it is like asking you to pick a favorite child.
Yeah.
And it just
Uh-huh.
depends. Everyone's a different experience. They're
Yes.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for your work and what's to come. And I'm very grateful to you for this form of protest that you have created because you've really, like I said at the beginning, you've given people hope
Thank you.
through
That
your
means a lot.
beautiful art for sure. We end every episode with a speed round of questions. Just
Okay,
answer
fun.
with what first comes to mind.
Okay.
What is your earliest park memory?
My earliest park memory is at Great Sand Dunes National Park. My family goes there most years in the spring when sometimes it snows too, so it's not really balmy. But I must have been 9 or 10 maybe, and we were there with several other families, and we're all sitting around the campfire, and the kids are playing, and the parents are having a good old time, and it just was a place where we'd all get together, and it felt like there were no other cares in the world. Everyone seemed to be having a great time.
And what made you love the parks?
I th For me, I think for a lot of people, it's a connection to nature. For me, it's family memories. I I definitely feel in my family that national parks are a legacy. My grandparents took my dad and his 5 siblings to Yosemite multiple times in a little Shasta trailer. And then my dad, in his younger years, spent a lot of time through Wyoming and Montana and the West exploring and working odd jobs, being a ski bum. And then he instilled that love of national parks in us. And so my brothers and I were very lucky to visit national parks with him all over the continental West. And now today we still travel to national parks. My dad books us trips and we go, and now my siblings have kids and so the grandkids are there too, and it's just it's a legacy thing. Very strong family bonding time and memories there.
What's your favorite thing to do in a park?
Oh my gosh, that's a hard question. Do you have an answer to that question?
I do. I love to hike
Okay.
and I love to just sit and watch people and things.
It is great people watching. I
It
know
is.
people like to get into nature to get away from people, but if you're in a packed campground, it's
Yeah,
great people
it
watching.
is. And I'm
Um,
a very like in most things in life, I'm like sometimes I say I'm like the wimpy one, but I'm like how do I'm the slow one. So I like a slow hike. I like a slow sit and watch people. I like a slow anything, but I love to watch and just see how people are experiencing the park.
yeah, I would agree. In a weird way, a lot of park time is people time for me. Usually when I'm going to parks, it's with other people. When I'm going out on a hike by myself, it's not usually to a national park. So it's
Interesting.
quality people time.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. What park have you yet to visit, but it's on your bucket list and why?
Can I answer too?
Of course.
White Sands National Park, because it's a close one that we could get to and it looks beautiful and like it belongs on another planet. And Gates of the Arctic, because that would be such a high, lofty goal of a national park to get to. It is way up there.
Yeah.
What about you?
I am probably I'll put all the Alaska national parks in one bucket because I feel like when I do it, and I'm going to manifest that it is a when I do it,
I love that for
it
you.
will be all of them together because I think that's so special.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are 3 must-haves you pack for a park visit?
I'm not going to say the normal ones because I'm sure everybody says hiking boots, backpack, etc. So I'm going to say my camera. I have a travel paint kit, which I love to bring, and a good sun hat.
What's your favorite campfire activity?
Eating s'mores. Well, mostly, yeah, definitely eating s'mores.
And are you in a tent, camper, or cabin?
We're tent campers.
And the cat is coming up over your head, and that's
I know.
adorable.
I'm sorry if you could hear him banging at the door earlier, but he
No,
wanted to get in.
no. Oh, he's just crawling up your back. That's hilarious.
Eh,
Okay, when you hike, are you going with or without trekking poles?
Without trekking poles. What about you? Are you a trekking pole hiker?
I love a trekking pole, but it depends on the terrain.
With you.
I have several experiences. Certainly if it's hilly, the coming down, particularly as your knees age, the coming down is harder and it's nice to have the trekking poles.
Right.
But they're also really nice if you're in a terrain and you need to poke and see, particularly I know you're Colorado and I spend a lot of time in Montana. On a winter hike, they're awfully nice to make sure you're not going 6 feet down.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a
Yeah.
really good
Yeah, I
point.
like them.
Yeah,
Okay.
safety tool.
Yes, totally. Okay, what is your favorite animal sighting that you have had?
Wow. One comes to mind very recently. I love seeing pika, honestly. They are just the cutest little things. And you have to earn seeing pika. You got to get up there to see them. But we were in Rocky Mountain National Park last fall with friends for the elk rut. And we went on a beautiful day hike. It was gorgeous. People were in tank tops and shorts. And there was a bull moose. And I have never seen a bull moose call mating call, and
Yeah.
it's like very deep guttural low tone, and that was so cool to see for the first time.
Oh, that's really cool. What's your favorite sound in a park?
Can I say pika again?
Yes.
Yeah, the pika squeak is so cute. What about you? What's yours?
I love how silent it is.
Hmm.
I just think it's the most unique thing, like when you're sitting in silence, the things you do hear, like the kind of the cracking of a tree swaying in the breeze,
Oh,
or
yeah.
the ruffling of a leaf from far away. And one time I was camping in the Boundary Waters, and I was in my tent, and it was very quiet, and then these chipmunks started chasing each other around the tent. So I think it's very quiet, yet there's these other things that you wouldn't hear on a normal
Life is
basis.
still happening
Life
around
is
you.
happening. Yeah.
That's poetic. I love that.
Yeah. And what is the greatest gift that the parks give to us?
I really think that the parks are an egalitarian place. Entry fees are so low. They were created for all Americans, no matter your background, no matter your economic status, your race. All those things don't matter in a national park. They are for all of us. And I think that is the greatest part about national parks. And everybody loves them. I've had conversations with people from all types of backgrounds that have wonderful memories of national parks. And it's just a great way for all of us to connect as humans that enjoy this planet.
Yeah. Beautiful. Jenny, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your talents and gifts with us. Thank you for showing us how to protest in a unique and artistic way. And maybe most of all, thank you for letting us have a beautiful scene on our park passes in 2026.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you, Missy, so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for listening to this episode. Until next time, we'll see you in the parks. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to like and share on your favorite podcast platform. Music for the Parks podcast is performed and produced by Porter Hardy. For more information, please follow us at The Parks Podcast or visit our website at theparkspodcast.com.